The U.S. economy added more jobs than expected in the month of May. The labor market here adding 272,000 non-farm payroll jobs, specifically taking a look at the actuals versus the estimates. That is significantly higher than the 180,000 expected by economists. However, the unemployment rate rising to 4%, reaching that level for the first time since, get this, January 2022. For more on what this means for job seekers, let's get to SANDWINA founder and CEO, Bridget Lohrius, who joins us now for more. Bridget, just want to start off with your broad read on today's jobs report.
Yeah, Brad, it's great to see you. And absolutely what you all have been reporting all morning, right? It's been a big week, lots of reports, lots of data to sort of pour over. But it was a big surprise to see this explosive sort of growth in May when predictions were significantly lower. Healthcare, government, and leisure and hospitality, of course, leading those gains. Average hourly earnings higher, as you just pointed out. But here's the thing, Brad, these big headlines don't tell the whole story, right? The Bureau of Labor Statistics report is, of course, a tale of two surveys. They survey households and they survey employers. So, there's going to be discrepancies there. Unemployment, as you just said, hit 4% for the first time since January of 22. And importantly, the number of open jobs is the lowest, Brad, it's been in 3 years, and jobless claims are also climbing. And the number of available jobs per job seeker reached its lowest level since June of 2021. And here's what I would tell you, Brad, these numbers actually align much more closely with what we're seeing and hearing from our clients. It's tough out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned this a moment ago, a tale of two surveys, and that was much of the reaction that I was seeing by some economists on the interwebs after the report dropped and after I had a moment to kind of catch a breather, step off set for a second, and then come back here to start our wealth show. And many of them pointing to that household survey. What jumped out there that people need to kind of be reminded of here as we're really evaluating, sure, the headline beat, but then there's still some murkiness under the water there.
Yeah, it's so many things to kind of dig through, right? But clearly what households are reporting is a lot of people lost their jobs, right? And businesses, of course, are reporting that they're holding, they're planning to continue hiring, but they're even acknowledging that they're planning to hire at a slower rate. Look, I'm not an economist. My job is to help people find joy and find jobs, but it's clear that there's a gap between what employers are reporting and what households are reporting. So it will be interesting to see how revisions come out in next month's report.
Yeah, and it seemed like from what I was seeing, the difference in those was what we were seeing on both full-time employment versus that part-time employment print and where that came into play on the tail of the two surveys as we were breaking down there. So let's hold up. Wait a minute. Can we put some joy in it? Because people want to know, as they're perhaps out there throwing their hat into the ring for the positions that are open, what they should be remembering as they're on the job hunt right now, Bridget.
Absolutely. And I think, Brad, what we're seeing and doing with our clients is really trying to modernize our approach to the job search, right? It's no longer spray and pray, as people say, just pummeling out your resume to as many online job postings as you can. That is an ineffective strategy. And in fact, what we're hearing from recruiters is they're done with that approach. A lot of recruiters are saying they're not even posting jobs online anymore because it's just become too overwhelming. So job seekers really have an opportunity here to get savvy and strategic about how they're approaching their job search. So we, Brad, have sort of a three-pronged approach, and it's really about managing your mindset, building your brand, and plotting your plan. So managing your mindset, this is really all about getting in touch with yourself, getting real about the market so that you can manage your own mindset and get resilient and tap into the grit that you have and that you're going to need to get through the process, because it is tough out there. So this includes things like getting a team around you of people who are going to be cheering you on and supporting you through the journey. It's also about cataloging your many incredible strengths so that you can boost your confidence as you move through this process. So that's kind of what we cover in managing your mindset. Secondly, it's all about building your brand. And that's everything from, of course, building a show-stopping resume and cover letters and building your brand positioning statement. But this is really, Brad, all about that LinkedIn profile. I just recently read the craziest statistic that hiring managers spend 25 times longer on your LinkedIn profile than your resume. And I can tell you, testimony here, 3 clients in the last week have told me that hiring managers that they've interviewed with have said, don't even bother sending me your resume. I'm going to look at your LinkedIn profile. So that profile is absolutely critical, tip to tail. The banner photo behind you, don't put your dog on there unless you work for a pet care company. Every centimeter of that real estate is so valuable. So you want to spend the time on it it deserves and get those recommendations up there. Put the featured section, make the featured section really shine and sing. That's where you have an opportunity to showcase your skills, your strengths, and how people think of you. And then finally, I would say it's all about getting that plan together, which is, of course, identifying the companies and the leaders that you're interested in. But this is all about next-gen networking, Brad. And I know you've had some guests on recently talking about what modern networking looks like.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And how important that is for potentially getting into that new position. Just lastly, while we have you, only got about 45 seconds left. When it comes time to negotiate a salary, especially in this labor market right now, what are some of the most effective strategies you're seeing being enacted?
Yeah, so the great news is that a lot of states are now requiring pay transparency. So with very little effort, we can do some research online to see what are sort of standard ranges for positions. And then I would encourage people to talk about it. That's what we say and coach our clients to do. Have the conversations with peers, have the conversations with people you don't even know, because with visibility and transparency comes power and knowledge.
SANDWINA founder and CEO Bridget Lohrius. Bridget, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Brad. It's great to see you.